Well, obviously, you got some time to reflect. Had a good week of preparation. I think we got a lot of good work in. Look forward to playing a game again. That's the only way we're going to get that taste out of our mouth is by lining up and playing a football game. But I thought we had some good work, some good preparation, and I think we made some positive strides. He looks much better. I think he's made a lot of improvement. Obviously, he could speak more to that than I can, but he looks much quicker and much more comfortable. He's had several extra practices now. He looks like he's in much better playing shape as well. So he looks good.
He was healthy enough to play against TCU, but Brent mentioned the other day, it shows the importance of practice. He's missed a lot of practice, really going back to, getting hurt in the very game. How do you think that impacted him in TCU?
Oh, I think it had a big impact. It's hard to play when you don't practice. I think that's been proven over the years. He practiced some, I think enough to feel comfortable playing, but it was not. Obviously, we've seen Jared at his best. I know all the people in this room have as well. And in my 2 years, I've seen him play very, very well. So he's got a whole nother level he can get to, and we certainly need him to do that. But I think just getting in playing shape, getting more reps, I think he'll be a lot more comfortable in this next game.
I was going to ask you about the passing game. How important is it to get the intermediate and the deeper stuff going to help your run game?
It all works together. The run game helps the throw game. The throw game helps the run game. I've talked about that quite a bit in here over the last 2 years. We need to be clicking in both areas to really be have a chance to be very efficient on offense. And when you're not doing a great job in the pass game as we didn't do last week, it hurts your run game a little bit. And then obviously what it also does is it puts you behind the chains too much. And I think that was probably the bigger issue against TCU. Yeah, Chase had a bunch of reps even before TCU game. He's getting a bunch of reps now. As I mentioned before, obviously he's going to get carries and he's going to get touches, and look forward to watching him play. He's had a good week of practice, and again, being a true freshman, the more he practices, the more reps he gets, the more comfortable he is, and the more comfortable we are with him.
TJ's a guy that you guys always talk about trying to find different ways to get him the ball also. Is he back healthy with everything?
I think he is. I think right now it's probably more of just a trust factor with everybody involved. Just when he does get an opportunity, he's got to go out there and do what he's supposed to do, and then we've got to try to create more opportunities for him.
A&M has a pretty good defensive end last year. What are guys they have now? They're starting 2 seniors. What are those guys?
Good players, 9 and 40. 40. They're both active. They're both quick. I think obviously they recruit to that type of athlete. They want explosive defensive ends. 40 obviously he created a lot of havoc in the UCLA game. I mean he had a hit fumble. He had a couple hits on the quarterback, and the same with 9. Both those guys are active, and they play 46 in there some, and 2 comes in some. So. Their defensive line is very good. This is my 3rd year playing them. Defensive tackles are active. 92 is active. 88, and then 5, Dylan Mack, I believe his name is. He's explosive and comes off the ball. He got good get off, and you just look at them. Their defensive coaches get at those guys to play extremely hard, and their defensive line will be a difficult matchup again this year. Yeah, they've been doing well. I'm going to stay in my lane there a little bit because that's not my area. I got my own problems. But no, it didn't affect the way we called the game on Saturday. No, we just, obviously we're trying to score touchdowns, and we got that 3rd and goal at the 2, and we didn't convert and kicked, and then on the other 3rd down play we had in the red zone, we couldn't get a guy open. I thought there was some defensive holding. Obviously, the refs didn't agree with us, but no, it didn't affect the way we called it on Saturday.
Perimeter blocking, tight end, wide receiver, what are you seeing and where can they go forward?
Better. I think we've gotten better. I think we've made improvements from last year. Our wideouts did a good job in our first 2 games of getting on the correct guys in the secondary. I think we need to be a little more physical at the point of attack sometimes with our wide receivers, but overall, I think we're much better.
I want to watch these guys, I guess he is the same, so he's been there forever, but he's been a big play guy, another big hero. What you think?
Good player. He had some big plays Saturday in their game. I think he had a pick and he had a TFL, but runs to the ball extremely well. Very athletic, and he's a good tackler. He's a good tackler in space, and I agree with you. I think he is a good football player.
I want to ask you about the corners too. What do you make of those guys?
They're good. You know, they're playing some now. They're playing some young guys in there too. You know, 24 is an older guy, and they move him into the nickel. 29's playing as a freshman and played well last week. And 10, same thing. Obviously, a 6'4" corner. You don't see that very often, but he has very good athleticism. And then 23, you know, him and 24. I think kind of get those guys lined up and get them going in the right direction. But it's a good group. They're very athletic.
How weak is Austin?
Really good. He's been works hard, you know, taking it, you know, obviously took us a couple days to get him out of the tank, you know. He takes things very personally and wants to play very well. So the hardest part was getting him out of the tank, but once we got him out, he's been good, and he's had a good week of prep, and he's throwing the ball well, and he's got some good energy and some good enthusiasm, and I know he's chomping at the bit to play again as well.
Is there a key to getting a guy out of the tank, or is it just take a couple days?
All these guys are different. You know, it takes me time to get out of the tank too. So, you know, my wife and kids are in charge of that. They got me out. You know, when you have a bye week, if I feel like you can, you know, sulk a little longer. I don't know why, but the 24-hour rule is not in effect. Sometimes it goes a little longer, but he was just upset about how we played and how he played, how we played, and he knows we're better than that, and you know, he didn't like the way he played, and you know, my job is to get him moving on to the next game. We certainly have done that. I mean, he's had really good last couple of days, in particular preparation, the way he's throwing the ball, his feet look good, accuracy, everything's been really good. So you want it to hurt. You know, you put a lot into this. You put your heart and soul into every game. You put your heart and soul into every play, really. And when it doesn't work out, it hurts, and it should hurt, because if it doesn't hurt, then you didn't put your heart and soul into it. And Austin's certainly a guy that puts his heart and soul into everything. So he's back, he's ready to roll, and we're ready to move on. And we're going to need him to play, obviously, very, very well this week to beat this team.
What do you make of this series with those guys? A couple of tight games you had with them?
Yeah, the first year, overtime, you know, we had a lead late and ended up losing in overtime. It was a heartbreaking loss for us, you know. Thought we played very well at times in that game. We ran the ball, if I remember correctly, very well in that game. I think Riley kind of had his breakout game, if you will, or coming out party a little bit. I think he had some good runs. Alex played well, Collins, and tough deal. And then last year I felt, you know, we had times where we really played really well offensively and moved the ball very well. Austin, I think, played very well, ran the ball well at times, and then we got bogged down in the +5 area with some situations, and thought again we had chances to win that game as well. And so, hey, they're a good football team. It's a great environment. You know, first year I was in there, it was unbelievable. Both crowds, the teams, obviously the arena that we're in. It's a you know, blessing, and it's an honor to be involved in the game. I just think it's an awesome experience for our players, and you know, again, they've got obviously a very good football team, football program, and I think it'll be another good matchup Saturday.
Dan, this game, at least to us last year, was really when those short yardage goal line struggles started to pop up, and they spilled over a little bit in the TCU game. What are you going to do to correct it? You got to get more creative, or?
I don't know. I think both games are different. You know, you look at last year, it's probably one of the best, them and Alabama, probably two of the best defensive lines in the country, and there was opportunities for us to score, and we didn't. And I'm not going to get into the why and how of that, but I don't think it had anything to do with design. And then this past week, it was, again, like I said, we had a 3rd and goal on the 2, and we didn't make a play. So I don't think you can compare the 2 games or 2 teams. There's been plenty of times when we've had the ball inside there and scored, and there's times we don't. And defenses are good, but we certainly will continue to work in that area and work very hard at it. And our players understand how important it is that we got to start scoring touchdowns down there.
How much does that go into your play call going forward?
It doesn't. We got to move forward. We got to, really what we look at is if a play doesn't work, is why. Is it a physical error? Was it a structural error? One of those 2 things. And if it's structural, that's on the coaches. We got to figure out why it happened. And then obviously physical, is it the same guy, different guys? You know what I mean? Do we have to change personnel, get a different back end, put a different tight end in? You know what I mean? So those are things we're constantly doing, not just in that area of the game, but in all areas of the game, trying to figure out if a play doesn't work, why, and how can we correct it.